Welcome to the Women Leaders Association Daily Member Podcast, where we believe we go further, faster, and have more fun when we go together. I'm your host, Julianne Kirkland. And in each Daily Member Podcast, we will pick out a great speaker from one of our meetings that we thought you would enjoy. You can access hundreds of recent speakers, book summaries, great articles, and more at no additional charge through your membership portal. If you would like to get involved in a Women Leaders Association mastermind group or find a networking group near you, or if you just need access to the membership portal, simply go to womenleaderspodcast.com to be connected. Now let's tune in for this incredible message.
So today's topic is really near and dear to my heart because I have a passion for leadership development. And I work as an HR director for SAP, one of the enterprise software technology giants. And I work in roles such as HR business partner and HR advisor. And I get to partner daily with leaders as they carry out their leadership responsibilities. Additionally, I have just stepped into the entrepreneurial realm 2 years ago and launched my own professional solution-focused coaching practice, Lighthouse Coaching Solutions, LLC. And through Lighthouse, I am able to work with individuals at all levels as they envision a future of desired goals and opportunities. And together, we partner to make those desires and dreams come true, one conversation at a time. And the best part, I get to witness miracles occur every week. So today, I want to spend some time sharing what I'm learning while I'm on my own authentic leadership journey. And I'll also incorporate some of the insights from the leaders that I partner with, as well as some of the experts that I follow. I invite you to engage and try to take it away at least one small nugget that you'll commit to putting into practice beginning today. I'll be happy to take questions from you at the end. And also, I would love to hear what was of value for you today. So with that, I would like to invite you to imagine the scene. So imagine the scene. It is 1 year from now. You have been consistently taking small steps each day to achieve your desired authentic leadership goals. In fact, you are achieving them. You are the authentic, genuine leader you have always envisioned yourself to be. See yourself walking down the street. You're thriving as a leader, both professionally and personally. You are becoming. Take a moment. Really enjoy that scene. Close your eyes if it suits you. Allow yourself to be there, to see it, to feel it. Get in tune with it. So let me ask, what do you notice? How are you walking down the street? What is your stride like? What are you wearing? What do you see around you? What colors are apparent? What do you hear? Continue to enjoy this beautiful scene for a few seconds more. And when it suits you, type in the chat one powerful word to describe how your scene makes you feel right now. Confident, I see. Another confident. Oh, wow. Relaxed. Empowered. Yes, relaxed. Fulfilled. Thank you. Thank you for those comments and those powerful feeling words. Moderator, next slide, please. So become the authentic leader you envision. I invite you to keep that scene you just imagined in mind as I go through this keynote. So during our time today, we're going to get into what it means to become. Then I'll share some leader insights. And lastly, I'll actually unveil a secret, the secret to becoming the authentic leader you envision. And here's a thought. The secret, it's okay for you to share it with others once you learn it. And then we'll have some time for Q&A. And as I mentioned, I'll be happy to learn what was of value for you today. So let's start at the next slide. Thank you. So let's start at the very basic level and dig a little deeper into the word become. So Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines become as to come into existence, to come to be. Secondly, to undergo change or development. So it's a verb, right? A doing word, an occurrence or state of being, to come alive, to become engaged. But you notice there's movement associated with the word become. As mentioned, it is a doing word. It makes me think of my son, who is studying to become an educator. He's a university sophomore who is eager to get into the classroom. He's had this aspiration since middle school to become an educator. A worthy goal indeed, and of course, just wonderful for a mom to observe. And once he becomes this educator, actually, it'll all just begin for him. But you notice how oftentimes the word become alludes to this sense of arrival, right? As if you've reached your goal or your destination, like the final. But is that where our journey concludes? But what happens when you add ing to the end of the word become? Well, former FLOTUS Michelle Obama had this to say in her book, Becoming, and I'll read it. She says, for me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously toward a better self. The journey doesn't end. So adding ing makes your change or development active and ongoing. It opens up more possibilities, actually. And this was a very insightful paradigm shift for me, going from this notion of striving to reach a destination, a degree or a certain title or status, to really thinking about continuously improving day to day. And this is what adding ing does to the word become. Let me ask you, how could this shift in thinking impact your vision or the vision of those you lead? A powerful shift there. So becoming the authentic leader you envision. Next, I want to share spend some time, the remainder of my time, going over some leader insights. Some of these insights may be a reminder for you, others may be new. But again, I invite you to take away one small nugget that you will commit to putting into practice right away. All right? Let's go. Next slide, please. Let's start with L from the leader insights. This here, the insight is love what you do and do what you love. Know your why. Lead from the inside out. So to be that authentic leader you envision. I believe it was Mark Twain who said, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. #goals. But do you ever wonder why some leaders succeed while others don't? Inspirational leaders identify a purpose and they follow it. And this is what Simon Sinek discovered in the book here, Start With Why. I'll share a personal story. So the year 2020, right? It was a pivotal year for me, and I'm sure for many others. I call it the year of the pandemics. There was COVID-19, of course, but then there were also the social injustices occurring in way too many cities across the United States. So for me, I just felt that I had to do something with my time, my energy, and attention to really add greater value to society, to humanity. I discovered my why with more clarity that year. And I wanted to be able to look back on that historic year of 2020 and feel like I'm proud of the actions that I took to really be a catalyst for change authentically. So my solution-focused coaching practice was born. I got a coaching certification, and Lighthouse Coaching Solutions came to be, and it allows me to do just that. I'm privileged to partner with others as they unlock their potential and maximize their performance one conversation at a time. And I love it. I love having that front row seat, watching and witnessing miracles occur as others get unstuck, meet those challenges that they're facing, find balance and even joy in their lives. So I'm curious, have you ever considered solution-focused coaching. It could be just right for you right now. So let's go on to our next insight here. Okay, so that's E. E for education. So Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And I agree. Formal education, that's table stakes. But self-education is a game changer. Again, during that pivotal year of 2020, I discovered the book, The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Now, the central idea of the book is to own your mornings in order to elevate your life. And that year, I became an active member of the 5 a.m. Club. And I'm happy to report that I'm still an active member of the 5 a.m. Club with recommitment and quite a bit of adjustment, but I'm still an active member. But this book was really a game changer for me because it really helped me to become aware of the internal sources of power and how best for me to use and free them. And this really enabled me to crystallize my purpose and remain dedicated to it, even during difficult and tough times. I'll pass this along. In the book, Robin Sharma describes the 3-step formula for success. Step 1, better awareness. With better awareness leads you to step 2. You'll make better choices and decisions. And then ultimately, you'll go to step 3, which is gaining better results and outcomes. And with this little short 3-step formula, success can be yours as well. So let's go on with our leader insights. Next slide, please. Okay, so that brings us to the A from our leadership insights. One of my favorites, ask. Use your ask muscle often. Stevie Wonder is quoted as saying, if you don't get, you don't ask. And even Oprah, she's quoted as saying, you get in life what you have the courage to ask for. As a courageous leader, the way to move things forward and get things done and others engaged in your initiatives and projects and BHAGs, those big, hairy, audacious goals, is to simply ask. I have been amazed by the number of times that I was actually able to get what I wanted because I asked. I always say, what's the worst that can happen? Someone says no. And for me, I interpret no as not yet, and as a challenge for me to really strengthen and improve my business case for the next time I ask. In the book, Ask for It, the co-authors discuss just how much women lose when we avoid negotiation. The book provides an action plan, though, a guide to negotiating anything effectively using strategies that feel comfortable to the individual. I have a question for the audience, and I would love for you to drop your score in the chat. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, how comfortable are you with using your ask muscle regularly? Go ahead and drop your rating in the chat. All right, I see a 9, strong, 6, 8, 10s. Yes, absolutely. And here's the thought. If you're not satisfied with the rating that you dropped into the chat, what will you do to further become the authentic leader you envision? Someone just used it for a new position. Congratulations. Okay, let's go on then with our leader insights. Next slide, please. That brings us to D. Decide to commit and recommit often. Wow, now this has been a really powerful realization for me. I learned that commitment doesn't have a long shelf life. And one of my coaching role models, Steve Chandler, has brought that thought to the fore. So there's a need to commit and recommit daily sometimes. I've made the mistake of believing that just because I committed once with great intention, that this would have the power to last the duration, the staying power. But in actuality, recommitment is needed, sometimes daily. A real life example that may resonate is the beautiful institution of marriage. For those of us who have chosen this path, I believe you would agree with me that sometimes daily, maybe even hourly, recommitment is a must to stay true to this vow. So here's a question for you on commitment. One to ask yourself, what am I willing to give up to become the authentic leader I am meant to be? I invite you to ponder that one and give that some thought. And one of the ways, before you go on to that next slide though, one of the ways that I'm able to keep my commitments to myself and others is by building good habits. And I encourage you to build good habits and habits that support your vision. And the book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, is an excellent resource to aid in this regard. All right, next slide. Thank you. Okay, this brings us to E in our leader insights. Ears, yes, ears to listen. It was Steve Jobs that says, intuition is absolutely more powerful than intellect. Yes, listen to your intuition. And I'm not necessarily referring to anything woo here, but if that works for you, that's fine too. But what I'm suggesting is we listen to that thing that one knows or considers likely from an instinctive feeling rather than a conscious reasoning. Listening to that inner voice. What is your inner voice or your gut telling you? I recommend making some time to really reconnect with yourself, to listen to what your inner voice has to say. And I've come to learn your intuition is the most honest friend you will have. Have you ever made a decision and to move forward with something, and you knew deep down you probably should have decided otherwise? What happened? It typically didn't go as planned, or worse yet, something really awful happened. Well, what I'm suggesting is that we listen to that inner voice and see what it may be telling us. And even after listening, if we still decide to go forward with the matter, that's great. Now we're fully informed and fully aware, and we're able to really commit to the decision that we made. So listening to your gut doesn't mean that you don't do a thing. Listening to your gut means you'll consider what the inner voice is saying, should you do a thing. And many leaders have found this to be a powerful strategy in helping them to become an authentic leader. Okay, this brings us to the letter R in our leader insights. And here it's all about reflect daily. Barbara D'Angela, she's an American relationship consultant, says women need real moments of solitude and reflection to balance out how much of ourselves we give away. Some say reflection is the main source of transformation. I actually published a LinkedIn article on it. Feel free to look that up sometime. But Peter Drucker, who's a well-known management consultant, said, follow effective action with quiet reflection. And from quiet reflection will come even more effective action. So I'd like to offer a micro action in this regard. Every morning, if you can set aside 3 minutes, just setting your intention for the day and reflecting on what you're grateful for. And then every evening, before going and turning in for bed, 2 minutes, listing the good or great things that happened to you during the day. These practices, these small 5-minute practices a day, have been shown and known to reduce stress, increase overall satisfaction, and really help us connect to our authentic selves. And for me, journaling has been an effective way for me to capture those moments of reflections. It's actually very therapeutic, I'll say too. So I would offer that to you as an idea or a suggestion. So our leader insights summaries. L, love what you do what you love, know your why. E, education. Self-education is a game changer. A, ask, use your ask muscle often. And E, ears, listen. Listen to that inner voice. What is it telling you? And then R, reflect daily, make time for you. So consider these maybe a call to action and maybe one small nugget you'll take away to try to implement beginning today. So this brings us to the secret to becoming the authentic leader you envision. All right, I know you may have been waiting for this. So now is that moment of the great reveal, if you will. The secret to becoming the authentic leader you envision is to behave as the person you seek to become. Let me repeat it. The secret to becoming the authentic leader you envision is to behave as the person you seek to become. Yes, take on the mindset of who you wish to become. Allow your behaviors to follow. Practice enough, and you'll eventually grow into the person you seek to become. Build new habits, act the part, and in doing so, create a new normal, a new identity. The good news is our subconscious begins to accept our new reality, our new behaviors, our thoughts and our feelings as normal, as natural. So if you're training to run a marathon, go ahead and act as if you're an athlete. If you're trying to lose weight, behave as a person who's health conscious and allow your actions to follow suit. I'm actually trying to put this in practice now. So every day I'm saying to myself and to my family, I am a health, wealth, and fitness fanatic. As a result, when I have that desire to snack on something that might not be too healthy, I pause and I ask myself, is that what a health, wealth, and fitness fanatic would do? Amazing how it works on most days. I'm still working at it. But it's that shift, right, to really making decisions from the identity level that really impacts our behaviors. Yes. So in conclusion, I want us to go back to where we started, back to that scene of you walking down the street, thriving as the authentic leader you envision, becoming, in fact. How will you behave as the person that you envision, the leader you envision and want to become? What small shifts will you commit to beginning today to become the authentic leader you envision?
Hey, my friend, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and share your biggest takeaway. And if you're wanting more, you can access hundreds of recent speakers, book summaries, great articles, and more at no additional charge through your membership portal. You can also get involved in a Women Leaders Association mastermind group or a networking group near you. Or if you just need to access your membership portal, simply go to womenleaderspodcast.com to be connected. Because here at Women Leaders Association, we believe we go further, faster, and have more fun when we go together. That's all for today, my friends. Bye for now.